In this segment of Suffolk Headlines, we ride along on the narrated bus tour with Suffolk Tourism. The Suffolk Visitor Center provides historic Suffolk narrated bus tours for a small fee each month. The cost is $8 for adults and $6 for senior citizens, military, and children ages 9 to 12. Participants can see Suffolk through the eyes of years gone by. Suffolk's rich heritage dates back to the early 17th century when Captain John Smith first encountered the Nansemond Indians on the Nansemond River. Highlights of this windshield tour include Cedar Hill Cemetery, Riddick's Folly House Museum, Constance Wharf, College Court, and Suffolk's historic lakeside neighborhood.
A gentleman by the name of John Constance came here and he settled, and he built a bunch of wharfs up along the river here, and he built his home on the hill so he could overlook his business dealings. Well, that trade really prospered, and he petitioned in Williamsburg to have a town established here, and in the 1742 a town was established, and it was first known as Constance Warehouse, but they thought that it would be better if they changed it to Suffolk to honor the colonial governor, William Gooch, who was from Suffolk, England. All right, we're entering into Cedar Hill Cemetery. It started in 1802. And originally this was John Constance's farm, but after the Revolutionary War, when the Church of England fell into disrepair, there was no place to worship here in Suffolk, so part of the Constance farm was purchased and a chapel was constructed. And so whatever preacher was passing through at that time could use that chapel to preach. Well, of course, you know, people die, and where do you bury them? Around a church. And so this is how the cemetery started. After the church or the chapel was removed, when different religions were starting to build their own churches here in Suffolk, it left the cemetery here. Amadeo Obasi, the founder of Planters Peanut, he was buried here along with his wife for a short time, but his wishes were to be buried along with his wife in the new hospital that he was having constructed in his wife's memory. Well, they both passed away before the hospital was completed. And so for a short time, they were entombed in one of the mausoleums here. Once the hospital was completed, the bodies were exhumed and buried in the lobby wall of the Obasi Hospital. When they built the new hospital, before they demolished the old one, the bodies were exhumed again, and now they're buried out in the Rose Garden area of the new Centera Obasi Hospital.
Thanks for watching this segment of Suffolk Headlines.